Everyone wants to know which AI is actually better. But when it comes to Claude and Grok, the answer isn't as simple as picking a winner, because better depends on what you're actually trying to do. Are you looking for the smartest AI, the cheapest AI, the best tool for making money, or the one that can keep up with what's happening right now? In this video, we're putting Claude and Grok head-to-head across intelligence, coding, price, real-time information, and income potential. And by the end, you'll know exactly which one makes more sense for you. Let's get into it. Anthropic's Claude is designed around careful, deliberate reasoning. Claude Opus 5 is aimed at heavy-duty thinking and complex tasks, while Claude Sonnet 5 is designed to be faster and more practical for everyday use. Grok, from xAI, takes a very different approach. Its biggest advantage is its connection to X, formerly Twitter. That means Grok can tap into live conversations, trending topics, breaking stories, and what's happening on the platform in real time. And that creates the first major difference. Claude is built more around depth and reliability. Grok is built around speed, real-time information, and the internet as it's happening. So which one is smarter? On paper, the difference is surprisingly small. Independent benchmark results put the two models very close together on difficult reasoning and coding tasks. On one coding benchmark, Grok scored around 79.3, while Claude scored around 78.9. That's essentially a statistical dead heat. So benchmarks alone aren't enough to tell the full story. What matters is how these models behave when you're actually trying to get work done. And this is where Claude starts to stand out. Developers often praise Claude for handling complex projects, especially when the task involves multiple files, complicated instructions, or a large amount of context. Claude tends to be the model you choose when you want the AI to think through a problem carefully and produce something you can actually use. Grok, on the other hand, can feel faster and more direct. For quick questions, brainstorming, reactions, and fast turnaround tasks, that speed can be extremely useful. But there's a potential downside. Sometimes, faster output means you need to spend more time reviewing and correcting the result, and that's an important point. The best AI isn't necessarily the one that gives you an answer first. It's the one that gives you an answer you don't have to completely fix afterward. So for serious coding, long documents, research-heavy work, and complex client projects, I'd give Claude the advantage. For fast answers and quick tasks, Grok is extremely competitive. Now let's talk about something almost everyone cares about: price. Claude Pro costs around $20 per month. Grok's equivalent premium access through X can cost closer to $30, depending on the plan. So if you're simply looking at the monthly subscription price, Claude has the advantage. You're getting a powerful AI without paying that extra $10. But things become more interesting when we look at the API. For developers building applications, Grok can be significantly cheaper per token than Claude's top-tier models. Depending on the model and usage, the difference can be substantial. And if you're processing huge amounts of text or running an AI application at scale, those savings can add up very quickly. But here's the catch. Imagine Grok saves you $10 in API costs, but its output requires another 30 minutes of your time to correct. Did you really save money? Probably not. Your time has value. That's why I wouldn't choose an AI purely because its API price is lower. You have to consider the entire workflow. How much does it cost? How accurate is it? How much editing does it require? And how quickly can you turn the output into something useful? Now let's get to the part that matters most for creators, freelancers, developers, and anyone trying to make money with AI. Which one can actually put money in your pocket? If your income comes from serious deliverables, Claude has a strong advantage. Think about writing client reports, creating proposals, building software, analyzing documents, writing long-form content, developing complex workflows. These are situations where reliability matters more than simply being fast. If you give an AI a complicated task and spend less time fixing the result, you can serve more clients and potentially make more money. But Grok has a completely different money-making advantage: real-time content. Imagine you're creating YouTube videos about breaking news. You're making X posts about trending topics. You're producing reaction videos. You're following live events. Or you're looking for what's suddenly going viral. Grok's connection to X becomes extremely valuable. Instead of searching manually through different websites and social platforms, you can use Grok to help identify what's happening right now. And there's another major advantage. Grok also has access to image and short video generation through Grok Imagine. That means you can potentially generate both your written content and visual assets inside the same ecosystem. For creators, that can be a big deal, because every additional tool you have to pay for adds another subscription, another workflow, and another step. So if your business depends on speed and trends, Grok becomes much more attractive. Now, here's my honest take. I'm not sponsored by Claude. I'm not sponsored by Grok. The goal of this comparison isn't to tell you what sounds good in marketing. It's to look at what each tool is actually good at. And that's why I don't think there's one universal winner. If you care about substance, complex documents, serious coding, deep reasoning, and professional client work. Claude is my pick, if you care about currency. What's happening right now, trending topics, fast reactions, social content, and built-in media generation. Grok has the edge. And then there's the price. For most individual users, that roughly $10 monthly difference makes Claude the easier recommendation if you don't specifically need Grok's real-time X integration. But if you're a creator whose business depends on trends, breaking information, and rapid content production, that extra cost could potentially pay for itself. So here's the final verdict. For deep, reliable work, Claude wins. For real-time information and fast content, Grok wins. For developers focused heavily on API costs, Grok can offer better value. For complex professional projects where accuracy and reliability matter most, Claude gets my vote. And for creators who live on trends and breaking stories, Grok may be the better weapon. The real winner isn't necessarily Claude or Grok. It's the person who knows when to use each one. Because instead of asking, which AI is better, maybe the better question is, which AI is better for the job I'm trying to get done? And now you know the answer. If this comparison helped you decide which AI deserves your money, hit subscribe for more AI comparisons, tools, and money-making ideas. And comment below, Claude or Grok, which one are you using? I'll see you in the next video.